I'd like to call upon Carrie's higher self, please.
Yes, this is them.
Thank you very much. Can we do a body scan and see what is happening to that body?
We're scanning right now, and everything looks really good. She has a little bit of a tickle in her chest, but that is just from the seasonal allergies, and we'll just work on that and release it for her.
Okay, thank you. We were curious why there were people that she knows that had either vomiting or diarrhea. Actually, both of us know people who have been having lots of that. What's happening to those people?
So those are part of the ascension symptoms. And when we are upgrading your bodies, people tend to really think of predominantly like several of the chakras mainly, but the sacral and the root chakras, when you're not grounded, the energy tends to stick there. So we use the example like when you're thinking about something that either you're deep in thought, if you ever notice that your stomach starts to activate and starts to gurgle a lot, that energy kind of it's stuck. So if you're finding that's happening a lot, well, the best thing to do is ground to pull that energy through, or you can contact your higher selves and you can ask them for connection, and for the circulation within the body. And so it's just, there's a major, where the stomach is, that chakra is one of your major chakras. And so if it's blocked or if it's like detoxing or anything like that, you'll just have the purging of the stomach.
Oh, okay. So then it's quite normal for people to experience that when they're holding on to certain emotions, would you say, as well?
Holding on to certain emotions, or if it's just a purging of the chakra, it's going to affect that area physically.
Got it. Okay. Thank you so much. I really appreciate knowing that. Okay, so then we were also really curious about people using their free will and for it sort of being taken out of their hands as they are not aware of some hidden agendas as they're making choices and moving through their lives. What can you tell us about this from your perspective, and what can we learn from you?
So if you can just specify a little bit more in the question, you want us to tell you about when you're using your free will, if there are other agendas that impose on your free will that can put you off course. Is that the question?
Yes, for those people who have used their free will to follow hidden agendas, which for our perspective seems like it's taking them off path and away from their contracts.
Well, that's where, so with New Earth coming, you feel like this timeline, right? Like of trying to tie up the loose ends. But before, when time wasn't somewhat of an issue, that yes, that would put them off track and that would create karmic retribution that they'd have to receive in karma or pay for it in dharma. And so when they go off course of their contracts to use free will for either malicious or like hidden agendas, it does create it's like a loop that they're still going to have to like meet that contract and pay the price, if you will, at some point. And when they do that, and the ripple effect that it happens upon other people that are now affected by their contracts and that karmic ripple, that is really why we are all here right now, is to help support this ascension, is because it's gotten so far, because that was like the cyclic behavior that keeps on happening is but it goes beyond that. Like the disconnection that people have with their spirit team, or their spirit teams. Carrie's still thinking jazz hands, but their higher selves and their teams that are there. There's that disconnection that plays into it too, that was never meant to be here on earth. And so it's all kind of like folded within the fold, like of the reasons why that it just can't work here on earth anymore.
While we are here on earth, what can we do to help those who have got stuck accidentally using their free will to follow and be distracted by hidden agendas?
So we can send love and healing to them and to their higher selves. And we can remind them and almost open up your heart space when you're thinking about this, really open it up. And if you can think of like sending a rainbow of light to them, because within darkness, there's light that can penetrate the darkness. So if there's anyone in specific, or if that you can think of and that you're seeing in your daily life, really just connect with your team, take a deep breath in, open your heart space, and send this rainbow of light, so that light can be sent to them, and it can kind of almost like a zap for them to like, oh my gosh, I didn't want to do this. Oh my gosh, what have I done? So that reminds them to then connect with their team to make reparation, to get back on track. But if you are talking about the whole general, even the beings that you have no connection with, you can still do the same thing. Just imagine if you step back kind of and see the world like as a little, like a globe you would have in a classroom. Imagine the world like that. Take a deep breath and connect with your spirit team, connect your heart space, and really send a rainbow of light that just encompasses the world. And it can help them kind of like generate sparks here and there. That if you want a tool to help with that.
Fantastic. Is there something that we can do today to help those who are not even aware that they have a spiritual team and are able and not using the tools and the advice to even go within to send out healing to others and themselves?
Yes, we will send healing, and we will help with those connections today. And we will, well, you know that you're going to be calling in several different collectives, and they are they are kind of in the background right now, and they are going to, we're showing like Carrie's having this, like, it's not chest pain. It's like her chest has like this opening up. And when we send that healing, it's going to help open up their heart. Like there's a blockage there. There's a blockage. Like we're going to send it and help open that up. And we're going to use the collectives that are here today. You're going to be calling in some powerful beings today. So definitely use their help in doing that as well.
Yes, absolutely. And so is Carrie feeling the representation of humanity's heart portal being blocked, or is it her personal heart portal?
Both.
Okay, fantastic. Great. So yes, you are right. I do have an agenda to connect with the many archangels today. So thank you very much, Carrie's higher self, for assisting with us today. So I would like
You're
to.
very welcome.
Oh, you're welcome. Welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Love working with you. So I would like to be able to call upon Archangel Michael, please. I have some questions for him.
Yes, we'll have him come in.
Thank you.
Yes, this is Archangel Michael.
Thank you very much for coming in today. Can you explain to people who are listening how it is that you can actually come into such sessions?
How it is that I can come into such sessions is like any of the other collectives, that I am part of a collective and I have connection with source and the collectives, and this is how we communicate. So anytime that I am called in by a being or by a collective, I am able to use my telepathy, and able to, no matter where I'm in the physical or spiritual presence, be able to connect in.
Fantastic. Are you able to work with all beings that call you in and ask for your services?
I am able to help all beings that ask for my services. They have to use their free will to ask for my services. However, if it creates a conflict of interest within their contract, I will not violate anyone's contract.
What would it look like to violate someone's contract? Can you give me an example of someone trying to call you in, but it would be in a violation of that?
Well, if they are in the middle of a lesson and they are about to learn that lesson, and I come in and with what you beings would think would be my magic wand and fix all those problems, now would you learn the lesson?
No, potentially not.
So there'd be situations like that where I would not come in if if they it's there's a saying that it's always darkest before the dawn. And that is the same with a lot of lessons. Sometimes you fall flat on your face before you like get the aha moment. And if I were to come rescue, that would be not empowering. That would be taking away the power that you have to honor your contract that you wanted to fulfill here. And so it's just, in those situations. However, if we feel like you're calling me in for help and it's a time where it's too overwhelming and you're not going to learn the lesson at that moment, and it'd be better to give space and time back, that's when I'll come in and give the peace and healing that's desired.
Fantastic. And how is it that you became Archangel Michael? Tell me what you were doing beforehand and what you do for the majority of your time.
Well, beforehand, I was with Source and would help with the creation of planets and help with the healing and protection within the planets. And what I do now is I work with with Source in the angelic realm, and I basically have been very busy, even recently, in connecting with humanity and connecting with the collectives and helping helping to ease some of the denser issues that are going on planet Earth, to help increase the frequency and vibrations for you to be able to ascend. What I work in collaboration with the ones that are perceived to be the fallen ones. We kind of play a cat and mouse game sometimes for helping people honor their contracts. I know that may be a hard thing for people to understand, but we work together and collaborate to keep people guided on the path of what they wanted to accomplish on this earth.
So you work together as a team with other archangels to help humanity?
Well, yes, it would be what you would work with the fallen ones that you would perceived as demonic.
Uh-huh. Okay, that's interesting. What else can you tell me about that?
Well, it's just about balance, right? So there's the negative and positive polarity. And so I'm somewhat the positive polarity and they're the negative polarity. And we help people to create the balance where they're in the, keeping them in the middle or keeping them driving forward to honor their contract.
Okay. And in terms of your physical body, are you one being or you're a collection of beings who have a hive mind?
So we are, in a sense, individually, we are collections of beings within one entirety of a function. But we all are, the way we're broken off is we all have different modalities that we kind of our specialization, if you will. We all have different healing modalities or different superhero powers, if you will. And but we work together. So we're showing Carrie like whales, like the orca whales when they hunt. They work together as a pack, and they're all communicating, and they're after the same objective, but they all have their role to play. And so we are all a part of the same team and a part of the same, angelic team here, but we're working in unison.
Is there a hierarchy within the archangels?
There is, in a sense, it's not a hierarchy. It's a hierarchy of not one from like would be oppressive. It is a hierarchy of that, because we are all fractured off of Metatron is what we're showing Carrie. So Metatron is the main source, and we are all fractures or sparked essence of Metatron.
Would you have told anyone that you are the leader of the archangels?
No, because we work together. So when you're beating as one pulse, when you're working together, it's not a hierarchy as if we need a leader. It's just more or less like we acknowledge that we come from the spark, like the main soul essence of Metatron. And we, if I were to view myself as Metatron, I still would not be, in a sense, the leader. I just would be the pure source of the driving force for what we're all trying to accomplish. But I am not. It is Metatron.
And so for those people who are saying that you have told them this, what would you like us to know about that approach?
Well, I mean, it's very easy to let ego get in the way of when you're transmitting this information, the ego, you can get different levels of information and the ego can play. There also can be some like personal pain that can be attached to that. And somehow by being attached to me being the leader, that can help fill that void and that gap, and not even on a conscious level, realizing they're doing it. And so a lot of times humanity does this, where on a not even on a conscious level, they're trying to fill a void, and so they grasp at other things to be able to justify or make them feel whole or make them feel special. And had the being that portrayed this really just realized they were whole already and they didn't need to, that they would actually get the higher information that we were giving them and trying to portray, because there are parts of it, like bits and pieces that they portrayed, that are factual. It's just that there's that void that's kind of telling a good story.
Okay, thank you. And so then can you tell me what your specialties are?
So my specialties are, like I am showing Carrie, like warding off like a negativity, lower vibration, helping for anything that's siphoning the energy, for protecting. So I'm showing Carrie like a shield, like a blue bubble around people, like helping them have a field of protection around them so that they can work within that field. And but I can only do so much, and it only lasts so long. And so when I create those fields or help with the negative energy, it's up to people to use their free will to then fill that field with light so that they're empowered and have the strength to know that they don't need me moving forward. I'm never meant to be there to be holding people's hands and walking them through life. Although I do enjoy connecting with all humanity and all the collectives, that doesn't do any, at some point the training wheels have to come off. And so it's to help empower people that they know that they can do this themselves. And I'm just there to remind them and show them the tools that they already possess inside.
That is beautiful. I love that empowerment. So thank you so much. And in terms of you physically, have you ever embodied a physical body before?
No, the only thing that I like we're showing Carrie is like the only thing is that I either show up in people's mind's eye in a physical body. So it wouldn't be in the physical sense. So either a dream or through just a vision that they see me in a physical body, or that if they were to see me here on earth, it wouldn't be physical. It would be more of like a manifestation of their imagination, or what they would portray me as, but I've never entered as a physical body.
Okay. And what about you lending your energy to have soul sparks in people's experiencing, for people to experience? Are you observing and being soul sparks in people's physical bodies at the moment?
Yes, and somewhat of a kind of like walk in, like helping redirect if things are going too far, like when you said when people use their free will to go off path to, so if that happens, we can jump in and kind of course correct, to try to, like, it's like they see all like danger. Carrie's like saying, like, if she's seeing like they're going off path, like we come in and like I can come in, help redirect, because it's not, we see that it's not going to help anyone, and then help redirect and then jump back out. Or we can come in and observe, come in if like it's really fractured soul, help kind of heal some of that a little bit so that they can be empowered. So there's a lot of different situations of how we would come in, or I would come in, and those are just some examples.
Fascinating. It's so extraordinary. And so, um, can you give me a sense of an average number of people you can be supporting with those little bits of your essence at any one given time, understanding that time is a convoluted little statement in itself?
I'm showing Carrie infinite.
Fantastic. Okay, that's special. Thank you so much. And what else can you tell me? What would be your message to humanity?
So my message to humanity is that, the vessel's kind of, here, I'll let her relax real quick. My message for humanity is that you guys have more powers and more gifts, and it's unfortunate that things have gone awry and gone astray on planet Earth. And that when you made your contracts, that no one would have ever known what they were really entering into with this denseness. And we do realize that you've forgotten who you are. I realize you forgot who you are. And I realize that it's so hard from where you are. But I want you to also know that you have the power, you have the gifts, you have the skills, you have the knowing. Lead with your heart. Like, don't ever forget that you can connect with your team and be reminded of the strength and the power you have. But really just lead with your heart. Don't let your mind and those other 3D things win. It's just distraction. It's just a way for you to get off course. But when you lead with your heart and show people who you are through your heart space and empower yourself, there's gonna, like, as much as I'd want to connect with all of you, there would be no reason for me to be here. And, I'm always willing to do whatever I can whenever anyone calls me in, as long as it honors your contract. But I just really want to see people really just step into that place of just pure, unadulterated love, love for self, love for others. Because you're at that time now, the energies are high. You guys are feeling the bliss. Last month was really Mayday, if you will, like a distress call. You guys, there was a lot of dismantling of old beliefs. There was a lot of dismantling of painful traumas. There was a lot of dismantling of old things. And we really know that you feel that high energy, that just lightness now, and just go with it. Go with it and know you are strong, you are empowered. Fill your space with light and love, and speak to each other with light and love. And you guys are you conquer this quicker than you know it.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. And out of curiosity, how are you connected to the Arcturians?
We are part of the Arcturian collective. I am, there are some hybrid Arcturians. However, I'm 100% Arcturian.
Fantastic. Fascinating. Okay. I love it. Is there anything else you want to share with us today that you feel is significant?
No, not at this time. I just feel really honored and grateful. And I know there are a lot of people listening to this that that connect with me at many times in their day and their lives. And I just want to let you all know I love you and I enjoy the connections. And I'm always here if you want to call me in.
So beautiful. Out of curiosity, what will you do after the shift?
Well, we're going to support. We're going to support the rest of Earth. There are going to be, we're going to have many opportunities to help facilitate and really love the ones that are left.
Nice. Do you get a sense that you will visit New Earth, and will you embody something physical for people to see you there?
Well, as physical as you guys would be, yes, but anytime that I'm called in, my energy presence will be connected with, just like anything else on New Earth. When you kind of think of someone you can connect, it'll be just the same for when you guys go on New Earth. But yes, we're going to go, and I mean, we all want to have a party together, right?
Indeed. What does an Archangel's party look like?
Well, um, it's pretty, we have a lot of fun. I mean, it definitely is letting loose. So we'll let you see when you go on New Earth.
Is there soul family members that are on this planet that you're also helping with?
Yes, that have, they are sparks of our soul family, yes, that we're supporting. And, when the shift happens, it'll be a lot of the support for, I mean, we want everyone to get it right. We want everyone to finally, I mean, if there's going to be a destruction of a planet, we want to try to support for all to get it as right as possible to the very end. And so just really that's going to be a lot of that, our soul family that's still here, learning the lessons or just observing the experience, just really want to help support all that.
Is it emotionally hard to see your soul family members going through, or even humanity going through what it is going through right now?
No, it isn't. This lightness that like we're showing Carrie, it's not because of the bigger perspective, because we know it's all going to be okay. And we just know that you guys are just walking around with your blinders on right now and kind of like trying to, navigate the dark. And we just know that there will be answers. And so just seeing it fast forward from that perspective, it's, it, we don't want to do anything to lower our vibration. So it's by putting ourselves in like that denser emotion just doesn't serve us. It only takes away from the energy that we can help people and empower them with.
Fantastic. I love that perspective. Is there anything that you get to do for fun, or what is the most funniest thing that you think humans do?
I don't mean to say this. Carrie's like, you guys are funny to watch cry.
And why is that? Tell me.
Because it's like that moment where all the release happens. And a lot of the times when you guys cry, you don't even like, you're not even like when that release is fully purging, you guys aren't even like crying about the original thing that you were crying about. And you guys just you guys are very dramatic. And so we know the pain is real, but the way you have to physically manifest it, it's like it flailing around. And some of that stuff is kind of seeing it from the higher perspective, because knowing that you guys are just learning a lesson is funny. We're showing Carrie the meme you sent her of the turkey. Of like, it's just, we're not laughing at the pain. It's just how you guys get very, once that release happens, you guys just really full on go on like going on for the Academy Awards.
Ugly crying is a trend, so we're just following.
That's right. That's right. And there's no malicious anything. It's just you asked, and I mean, we got to find humor where we can, right?
It definitely does lift our vibrations instantly. So I do really appreciate you sharing that with us, because it will help us to remind us. It will make us probably even laugh when we are crying, that you're getting a kick out of it. And I can't even comprehend what your responsibilities and mission must feel like in the majority, because it just feels like it's such a huge role. So I want to thank you for all of the services that you've done for humanity. I can't even start to think how extraordinarily challenging it would be. So thank you very much.
You're very welcome. And I love you all.
Nice. Okay. Thank you so much. So you can recede to where you are to watch and be entertained with others having some crying moments. That does make me laugh now. So thank you. Okay. And so then, are we able to call on Archangel Raphael, please?
This is Archangel Raphael.
Thank you very much for coming in. I'm not too sure if you were privy to the conversation I just had with Archangel Michael, but I'm very curious to learn more about you and understand who you are and what your specialties for humanity is.
Yes, I've been here and listening and agree with the conversation about crying. And I'm going to give Carrie some image here. So I'm really opening up Carrie's her third eye right now. So I like to support the connection of what she would say would be clairvoyance. I would like to support the connection of the knowing and the connecting with higher selves. I really do help people unblock that. So when they call me in, it is going to be as if whether they do meditation or do prayer. What I do is I come in and I help them with the healing modalities to be able to open up that connection and to create a stronger connection. Now, we all do have the same general type of healing. We can heal sadness, any kind of emotional blocks, and we can help with that. But I'm showing Carrie my hands have lights in them, like what she would view with Reiki. And I really work with the energy and the connections between source, higher self, and your teams.
So fantastic. And so from your perspective, how is humanity going?
Well, from my perspective, it is, I take it, it is unfortunate where we have come from and in this story, but how we are going is actually a great tale that is going to go down in the records. And there's many times this ascension and awakening has been attempted and been unsuccessful. And the amount of empowerment that people have and the amount of following your intuition, going within, and the support and love that people have for one another. Although I know it doesn't seem like that on the 3D realm, but it is. There's so many connections, those sparks that are igniting between humanity and the collectives that are really just, it's never happened before. And we're really, I just showing Carrie like the world map, and like all these lights just like are lighting up. That is like never happened on this level before. So humanity is doing phenomenal. There, even if you are a righteous person, or like even like damn the man fighting the government, you are asking questions. You're saying, no, I'm not going to take this bullshit that you guys are giving me of what my life should look like. And you're empowering yourselves and you're fighting that fight, or you're showing each other love, or you're taking off a mask, or you're just hearing another person's story. I mean, it is going phenomenal. And sometimes it's hard in the day-to-day lives, I'm sure, for you all to even recognize how far you've come. But even since last month, you can see the relationships and how they flow so much easier, and how you can see that person isn't doing something to me. That person's doing something because they're hurting. And so I no longer want to walk away from them. I want to love them, and I want to just support in whatever way that helps empower them. And that's taken how many a lifetime to get here, right? Like it's really beautiful where humanity's going.
I love your perception of it, and that is fantastic. It is so exciting for us to hear that.
Yeah, I mean, you guys do need to hear it. I mean, it's told to you in different ways, or with different words, or with different like, but you guys really, it's just it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Um, that is intriguing. I love that. Have you had other lifetimes, or is this kind of your first role?
We have all, it's, I know it's really hard the way that the soul essences and sparks and everything. So through Metatron, oh my gosh, through, we're showing Carrie something. Um, this is my first time as a soul, as a spark essence within this, like this name. However, if you put us back as one whole light, like we're showing Carrie, like if you put us back in one whole light, then we could all remember and recall lifetimes from in that source. So it's really confusing for Carrie. That's why she was laughing. She's like, what are you doing? What are you showing me? Um, so no, like this is my first in this realm, in this role.
Fascinating. And so, when you signed up for this role, were you aware of the extent of it, or are you growing and learning as humanity is?
No, we have a good foundation and understanding because we don't forget. Uh, that there's no veil on us, right? So we walk into this with a full knowing of, and in a sense of what we're, but we do grow and gain information and gain like different techniques or strategies of how to best help humanity in honoring their contracts and in healing some of the off course things that have happened on Earth. And that is all like evolution. I mean, in everything that is done and all of the collectives throughout the universe, it's all just evolution. And so you do have a good like starting point, but you're constantly, the role is to evolve.
Would you know if there is any other planets out there that have got more out of path than, say, this planet right now?
There have been other planets that have, and they are no longer in existence.
And are you able to tell us what happened to them? Did they, well, sorry, can you just tell me more about that? I'm super excited to hear about that.
We're showing Carrie nuclear wars. Like we're showing Carrie like the cloud of an atomic bomb, that they, in a way, self-destructed the planets with their misuse of technology.
I'm definitely not super excited to hear about that then now. That's okay. And so then are those souls who had to experience the end of that planet still here with us now on this planet, reliving those, not reliving, but learning through this 3D planet?
Some of them are. Some of the ones that were a part of that did come here, yes. Some of them went back to source and are still at source. And so they're not gone. It's just there's many different things we do with many different galaxies and different missions. And so when there is a need, or maybe like a new planet, or an ability to give them another opportunity, that will happen. And so it's not like, I understand it would be like, oh, I'm not, destruction sounds like a downward spiral, but it's all from source, goes back to source, and then it's reworks the problem, and then given another opportunity to evolve. And then hopefully they take that opportunity now with the long time out, if you will, and want to go on that evolution path. And so that happens many different times and at many different planets in a way, and many different species collectives throughout the universe that just have to have their timeout chair and then give an opportunity to, okay, I see where it went wrong now. I want to make different choices. Or now you're going to a place where there's no free will and you just have to go with the group, right? Like, and if you don't, go back to source. So it all, but I mean, the source isn't a bad place to be either in a timeout chair. But no one wants to sit in a timeout chair with their dad looking at them the entire time. Because then you just are like, I hear you, Dad, like you're, guilty. So it makes them uncomfortable, but, learn the lesson.
Motivational. So tell me about the souls that are here now that have experienced the end of that planet. Are we able to give them profound love and healing to heal from that experience without pushing out away their own free will? But can we acknowledge that experience together and to help release anything that no longer serves them?
Yes, I would love to do that. And everyone here that's connecting is going to send that healing and love for them to be able to still honor and respect their contracts that they have, but to also let them know that, okay, so we're showing Carrie like a little timeout chair, but there's like the whole room's dark except for a light, and and their head's low. And sometimes when sometimes when you are in timeout and you feel bad about your decisions and you feel shameful, it's really hard to see that you are bigger and more have more potential for who you are, and that you don't have to live there, that it's just the next step is the most important thing. And there is a part that they really just feel like a shame, and they're too afraid to step out of that shame, or that like I'm never going to be better than this is just who I am. And when we send that love and healing and let them know, we see you did bad things, but so do humanity. Like humanity does bad things to one another too, but it doesn't prevent them from learning the lesson and seeing people with their heart space. Like to cheer them on, like you can do it. We're proud of you. We know, okay, so you messed up, right? Like come on, you can do it. Like if they could feel that from people instead of judgment or like, yeah, enjoy your time out, chair, you deserve it. Like if you could send it more of a positive healing anytime you connect with that energy of like, keep going, we can see it, you can do it, you have to believe in yourself, give them that empower to like believe in themselves, that there is an opportunity for growth. And that is going to really help them too. So we're sending that type of energy, just that whenever you connect or anyone listening this connects with that energy, instead of like tapping into that dimension, that lower dimensional energy of like guilt or shame, give them empowerment. And that's going to be so much more helpful for everyone on the whole scale of things.
Perfect. Absolutely. That is so wonderful. I love your perspective of things. Thank you. And just to confirm, even though the high dimensional beings are not allowed to interfere with our free will, there has been a situation where we have had our nuclear weaponry disarmed because of the extent of the impact of impacting so many others.
Well, that violated Gaia's free will.
Yes, I can see that. Fantastic. I got that. And so, can we send love and healing and appreciation to the planet's consciousness who did and who was destroyed by that nuclear destruction, and all those beings who had to experience that? May they be free from anything that no longer serves them there.
Yes, I'd love to do that.
Fantastic. Is there, I mean, you've already said such fantastic things, Archangel Raphael. I'm beyond impressed. And is there anything else that you would like us to know from you?
No, I think that we've been doing a good teamwork of job of like covering some of the information, and just really want to keep it light and loving, and really let you guys end with a really feeling of that lightness that you guys are going to feel soon.
Beautiful. What are your plans after the shift and when everything is resolved with this planet and even New Earth? What are you going to do after that?
So I don't know what the next mission is going to be. Everything's been so touch and go and taken a lot of the energy here. But wherever, I just want to take the skills and the tools and the lessons that I've learned through all of this, and I want to go create more beauty and more love within whatever realm they need me to.
It's fascinating. It seems like you're really so deeply passionate about your job and your role and your responsibilities. You have such a beautiful service to others approach. I'm very impressed.
Well, thank you. And it takes one to know one. So we see in others what we encompass within ourselves.
Yeah. Well, you're probably really skinny too.
When I want to be.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. It was such a beautiful connection. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Okay. Can we just call in another Archangel, please? Gabrielle.
Yes. Calling him in right now. Yes, this is Archangel Gabrielle.
Thank you very much for the connection. Were you able to hear the other conversations with Michael and Raphael?
Yes.
Great. So then I would love to hear from your perspective. what is your specialty for humanity, and what your perception of how everything is going.
So what I'm showing Carrie is that like kind of like the Moses tablet. So my connection of what my healing modality is I protect information. I help protect the information, like showing Carrie them like is it the Moses tablets or that's what it looks like the information of the blueprints of what was supposed to be followed on earth. And I really help and have tried protecting that, empowering it, because it's used and misused for so many different things. And even the knowledge of it has been so disconnected from people. And so what I do is that's my specialty, is kind of a guardian of that information. And, but it's gotten so off track that I have not been as successful as I'd like to be in my role.
Well, tell me about that. What's happened there?
So instead of used for good, what you would perceive as good, that they've almost reversed it, where it was then used to create more of a density within this earth. And so it's like a reverse of it, like a mirroring. And so that's what's caused some of the entrapment here, and what caused the need for a distress call for the rest of the collectives to come in and help. But I've always been here trying to protect that information, to create a light like grid around it, or like a really, I've tried using almost like this force field around it, so that it didn't have as much power when it was used for like negative agendas. That I created it so that it would be a dulled ability, instead of it being full power of what it could have been, by reversing it for their misuse.
What sort of information are you referring to, so we can understand this a little bit better?
So like what you would say, like the golden rules of the planet, or the ascension, the way for ascension and evolution within this planet, like the things you must master and follow the guidelines. But it's mainly the rules of how it all operates.
Oh, I see. So then I feel like you would have a great understanding of how we could navigate and help humanity be more supported to go back onto path and of purpose.
Yes, and that would be, I mean, at this point, because of where we are at and how far it's kind of like a downward spiraled, it's really like the foot traffic, if you will. Like we can do it on a large scale, of course, but the connections that anyone that there's like traveling along have made a connection with, or saw in a grocery store, or in the car driving next to you, or had a relationship with, or talked to on the phone, any of those, the connections that you have somewhat are like stars in the sky, constellations, like they're connections that you have that you don't even realize you carry. And that when you do healing, or you send out healing and love, or the intention for connection, that it activates all of those constellations, if you will, in the sky. And so when you look at it, like it's not 6 degrees of separation, it's literally so much more than that, that you carry around with you those connections. So when you heal yourself and you love yourself, it sends out a ripple effect to all of those connections you've ever made. So even the group of listeners that listen to this channel, if you guys all came together, or all had the intent and desire to help heal and create those connections, that it will create that, just that board, that circuit board to light up.
Fantastic. Are we able to be guided by you now, to also have set the intentions to manifest this connections?
Yes, I'm doing that now, and I'm sitting, like Carrie sees this light that just like, it's almost like a sunrise that just goes all over, that we're sending that out, and we're help guiding you, and we'll help your teams anytime you connect with them to help guide you as well, if that's what you want. But we are sending out a lot of that right now.
And am I correct in thinking that when we are using our free will to be able to help humanity, we're also helping, and that this is actually kind of not manipulating, but correcting some of the things that are really stuck?
Yes. So if you think of yourself as the original spark, and all of those connections are just little, not fingers, but like spider webs off of, like, just that they just have, they're all intertwined. You may not see it unless the light hits just right. Right. But when you take that empowerment to use your free will to help with that, it just sends out this effect of just light throughout all of that. And so it really, that is really an empowering way. When you empower yourself, it's almost like a whisper. You're telling them through the telephone game, like you have a string with the cups on the end. Like you're like, I just empowered myself. And they're like, I think I heard something about empowerment. I'm going to explore that more. And then the next one's like, did I hear empowerment? And then the next one's like, oh, I think something just popped up about empowerment. And it's amazing how that telephone game can really like set it off for that. And then they use their free will. And by you doing that, it helps to just empower everyone.
Fantastic. So wonderful. Is there anything that you would like us to know that we haven't heard before about anything? You have the floor.
No, I'm gonna leave it at that. I think that the connections that you had earlier were very substantial. And I think that my connection, because it is connected with how it's been misused, and I don't want to, I want this to be left with a very empowering and a very light feeling, leaving this connection.
Okay, thank you. And I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear about the struggles with your hopes for humanity. Can I send you love and appreciation for all that you've done, as you have been trying to help us?
Yes, and I appreciate that so much. And it's all a learning curve, and I'm just figuring out how to, and I realize that, you win some, you lose some, but I come every day swinging and doing my best to, overcome it, and just see that, like, I have done a lot of good too. So I'm very proud of myself.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you. And do you have any plans after this is all done?
I'm showing Carrie I'm dancing with you guys.
Fun. Fantastic. I will be your backup dancer. That would be fantastic. Well, I'm sending you such gratitude and love. I can't even comprehend your roles and jobs. Really, the enormity of it just is mind blowing. So I honor you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. Okay, so are we able to get Carrie's higher self back to connect with us, please?
Yes, this is her.
Thank you very much. How is her body going?
Her body's good. She feels really, really light from that energy. So she's enjoying this connection.
Nice. Good spa day for her.
Yeah.
So she was curious if you could be so kind to show her inside a ship. And maybe she's even more curious to know her experience as she shifts. Will she be aware of the shift, and what can you tell her?
Yeah, we'll help Carrie do that. So when Carrie shifts, we are showing her, and while we do this, we're going to actually show her herself in the ship. And so we're showing her in a ship, and she's almost got like these, it's almost like these little, not filing cabinet drawers, but like these little cubbies where there are beings. And we're showing her with her hands over them. And she is actually helping with their energies for their awakening when we do wake them up. She's going to use her healing powers and the way that she can manipulate the emotions of others, like to help bring them peace and ease, so that when they wake up, that she can be there as a comfort to help them acclimate. We're showing her she worked in the emergency room for 20 years. And as an empath, that was very hard for her. And we're showing her that these skills of being able to work in kind of chaotic or what could be chaotic situations are going to come to play as she's going to be comforting others when they wake up, to be like, you're okay, you're going to be okay, you're going to be fine. And we're showing her that she is somewhat holographic, but she does take more of her blue skin. And that's very interesting for her because she's like, oh, okay, there's the Arcturian in me. And it's really beautiful. The way that it feels inside is just, it feels really nice. It feels really lovely in here. Like it feels like, I don't know if they are like manipulating the energies inside or anything, but it just feels like, you know, when you're in a really nice lobby of, like, you used the day spa earlier, of like a really nice day spa, and you're like, it smells nice. Like the ambiance in the ship is just really nice, and it's very comforting. Like you don't feel like it's not anything like they've shown in the movies or anything, you know. It's like, it feels like a nice, that day spa effect, if you will.
Nice. And so, what else will she be doing and exploring during this time?
We show her in like a it's like an anti-gravity room. Like she's almost like on a trampoline, and she's like, wee, like playing in there. She's just like, this is so cool. Like, oh my gosh, you know. And like she just has this like grin, like, you know, she's like a kid again. Like there are a lot of fun things to do on the ship, like exploring all those things that you're going to be able to use on New Earth. Like we're giving you an opportunity to kind of play with it within a controlled realm.
Fantastic. And so she's been activated, and she has done enough of her own inner work to be consciously aware of the traveling. Is there many that won't be able to enjoy this experience?
There will be more than you would think that are going to be gradually awoke. Now, we're showing Carrie that the ones that are going to be asleep, if you will, or unconscious of it, that we will wake them up before New Earth. And so it may be at the end of the travel.
Oh, fantastic. And so, that is so curious. And so, what else would you want to share with Carrie about her journey to the new earth?
We're showing Carrie there are going to be beings that are going to look like the typical beings that you would imagine, you know, what you guys call extraterrestrials to look at. But they're like like they're dressed in very like royal garb, like their garments, and you're not going to be like they have a presence about them that just she can see they're in different bodies. Like one is like kind of looks like an ox, and then like one looks like an octurian, and like it's this council table, but they have this presence about them that you're like not afraid at all. Like you just there's a knowing of like you feel their presence and you feel that like energy that it's just uh, wow, they're powerful. They're really knowledgeable in how they manipulate the energy to bring peace. When you see it with like your with your eyes for the first time, so it's not going to be scary at all, because they're going to be able to manipulate that energy. And just showing walking around, just kind of like connecting with other beings that are awake, with parts of this soul family within the groups that she's been connected with. Just she's like so excited because she gets to hug them. She gets to hug them for she's 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 wanted to hug them for so long. Like that true family. And it's gonna be really beautiful. You guys like you're showing her the joy, just like oh my gosh, just like that homesick feeling, like just it's just gone. You finally remember and you finally know, like that true knowing of like you're no longer homesick. Because Carrie's been homesick.
And for people who are hearing this and reacting to it emotionally, what would you like us to know about that?
That it's joyful and that it's a tears of release. It's just releasing that pain and that and it'll be very, very joyful.
Can we laugh about thinking about Archangel Michael finding this funny?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much. Um, is there anything else that you know Carrie would like to know about this shift and the journey and the experience on the new earth that you want to share with her today?
No, we've answered a lot of the questions in the past, and anything that on a daily basis that she wants to know, she's it's a great opportunity for her to go within and to ask those questions and to anything specifics. Now that she has a general idea, now she can ask more specific questions and we'll help her out.
Fantastic. I love that approach. Brilliant. Thank you. She did have a question about the reptilians being released early from the rule of the draconians. What would you like us to know about that?
That's when the draconians will be evacuating, and the reptilians came here just to survive and to live, and the draconians never really cared so much about like surviving and living on the planet because they were able to they had other places they could be. It was more or less about power for power, just to have it. And so it's almost like a egotistical kind of manipulation, if you would view it that way on a 3D realm, like that the reason why they have control of the reptilians is because they just can. And and in a way that's the when you are disempowered like that, you do have trauma responses or things you do that you normally wouldn't do in a free flowing space, and the reptilians reacted. So it's a reaction to the power that was held over them. And so once the draconians evacuate, the true essence of what the reptilians wanted and their desire is just to live out a life here, they'll remember that, and they won't, they will, their free will won't react in such a way. It'll be more of like a natural organic state, and they won't have desire to do some of the lower density things. It's just like a trauma response. Doesn't mean the person, was good or bad or anything. It just means that they were responding to the trauma. And so, we would like to help send healing and send as much empowerment and send as much as love and cheering on that we can to the reptilians right now. And we would like to also use whoever's listening to this and all the collectives that are here, to be able to ask that the draconians evacuate now. Give them time to evolve.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, I think we all would like to use our free will to be able to help, to be able to release all that have basically had other genders oppressed onto them through other choices.
Yes, so we're doing that now, and it's kind of like Carrie has imagined like a stare off, like we're giving them a stern look, like, you've had your fun, now let them evolve. It only helps us all on a whole.
Absolutely. Yeah. Do you get a sense that the draconians will be motivated to accept this request?
There will be some discussions after this is over.
Okay. Well, we support all collectives to be able to grow and evolve and expand for the greater good of all. And we really appreciate it when all collectives are considered.
You're very welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much. On a private note, what would you like Carrie to know about Scarlet, please?
We want to, first off, we want to say that how proud we are of Carrie for really stepping into who she was always, always was. She forgot her strength. She got confused, and she forgot her power, but it's always been there. And you know what Scarlet needs from you. You know what her heart needs. And we're just going to put you in a protective, loving bubble, you and your entire family, with almost like a fortress around it, like almost like a knight's guard around the bubble, and really protect you. But Carrie, it's your job to keep connecting with us, to keep asking those questions, to keep seeing what your children need with your heart, to fill that bubble with light. And so we just want to say that it's all going to be okay. You're doing everything you need to do, and be very proud of yourself for how far you've come. Scarlet knows you love her. Joe was right earlier. Talk to her, listen to her, give her what she needs, and don't be afraid anymore. We've got you protected. Keep that light on. When you dismiss or you tell her a lie, your bubble inside of that, it becomes dark. So keep that light bright within your bubble, and we will protect you.
I love this. I love this for both of them. And yes, Carrie should be tremendously proud of her growth and her journey and experiences. She's mastered the fuck out of this life.
Mm. And she loves you, Joe. She loves you a lot, and she looks up to you. And like what was said earlier, that what we see in others is because we possess it in ourselves. And we just really are glad you guys connected finally. on this lifetime, you know, and we're proud of both of you.
Wow, thank you. It's just so tremendous to see Carrie just mastering things that, you know, any normal person would struggle with at this moment. And it's just so inspiring to see how manageable we can cope with other false agendas being placed upon us and still navigating through. It's incredible.
Yeah. Well, you guys are going to get through this, and you guys have come so far, and yes, it's incredible, but it's only a sign of like what's to come, how incredible it's going to be.
Yeah, yeah. Tremendous times. Thank you so much. Is there any final messages that you have for her?
No, I think it's been very well covered today.
Yeah, yeah, it's been tremendous, profound, profound experience. Much appreciation to all who have come in to participate in this conversation. It is inspiring, encouraging, overwhelming, ugly tears, and lots of growth.
Yes, only upward and onward, right?
Absolutely. Thank you.